The contractors is the biggest thing, and I would advise people never pay a penny up front. If they need materials, go pick up the materials, meet them at Lowe's, but don't pay them a penny.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Investor Fuel podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil. Today I'm joined by someone I'm looking forward to chatting with, Shawn Miller, who's been making serious moves in the real estate and investing space. So excited to have you here on the show today, Shawn. I think the listeners are really going to take something away from how you've approached building your business and being able to retire in Puerto Rico and, live an amazing life from there. So let's dive in.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So first off, for people who are not familiar with you and your world, can you give the short version of what your main focus is?
Well, I've been a real estate investor for over 20 years. My philosophy is always that I'll buy anything with land, but I do it within a limited radius, 20 to 30 minutes from my home when I lived in the States. And that way I could keep a close eye on my properties and go check on them regularly and so forth. But I have everything from old single-wide mobile homes, apartment complexes, industrial, anything that's a deal that includes land.
Amazing. How did you get started with this?
Back when they had cassette tapes, I bought a course by Russ Whitney, How to Get Rich with Real Estate, and listened to those and went to some of their different shows and events. And over time, I applied the principles I learned and started investing in real estate.
Amazing. Can you expand on what some of those principles were?
Well, it's been over 20 years, so I don't remember the exacts, but one of the most important principles
Any principles that you've used?
is the 1% rule. And that means if I spend $100,000 on a property, the rent needs to be at least 1% of that. There's a lot of more complicated people who use the cash on cash and all sorts of different ways to calculate returns. But the 1% rule is just so simple. And for me, it's been very reliable.
Awesome. So what has been like the key to keeping your business running smoothly after, all these years and all these different properties that you hold?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I had to learn the Burr method before it was advertised and actually, a thing, so to speak. I just kind of did it by necessity. So that was definitely the key thing for me, is to do that. Learning all the local laws, doing the evictions. I've always been self-managed. I still am. I have an assistant that takes care of all the bookwork for me. But if a tenant has a problem, they text me, and then I text a contractor, and then it gets fixed.
Nice. So, yeah, a lot of the listeners are maybe earlier on in their investing journey, or they're looking to level up. And what are some maybe challenges that you faced that you now have the wisdom to share to people that are in those earlier stages?
Well, the number one biggest problem by far has always been contractors. And I got scammed by so many. There are some great contractors, but a lot of them, honestly, are people that could not hold down a regular job. And when I expect them to show up on time, do what they said, and that sort of thing, it's a big problem. So when I find a good contractor, what I've done once I got to the size, as I said, made an agreement with them. I'll keep you busy as much as you want, as long as you promise to only work for me. And that really has went a long ways towards, now I have people basically on call, and they always take care of my situations. But anytime I have to get a specialist, it's always an issue. Now I've got a pretty good team. The contractors is the biggest thing, and I would advise people never pay a penny up front. If they need materials, go pick up the materials, meet them at Lowe's, but don't pay them a penny. They need half down, half up front, so that they can buy the materials, and then you never see them again. If you can, only use a contractor that owns real estate. A lot of them will be renting, and even if you go to court, you win, you get a judgment, there's no way to enforce it. If they own the property they live in, you can always put a lien on their house, and generally it will get paid.
Yeah, that's some good advice. Thank you for sharing that. So, every operator I know has moments in their business where things got more or less real. Maybe a deal went sideways, or you had to make some fast pivots. Would you mind sharing one of those moments that you've experienced on your journey?
There was one year I had to pay more in taxes than I made. Yeah, that's crazy. So I had another business, an IT business. It was not very successful, and I didn't make much that year. I had just recently went through a divorce, and things were tough. So anyway, whenever you pay equity on your mortgage, the government considers that as profit. So that year, I think I made $20,000, actually, money I put in my pocket. And I had to pay out like $25,000 in taxes. So that was tough. But, as life progresses, I made things work, and, it's part of it. There's going to be lean times. Anytime as a business owner, you're going to have challenges.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's part of the entrepreneurial journey. And it's, yeah, kind of what you go through as you are in it for that long-term vision.
Absolutely. You got to be long-term in real estate. There's many people that make tons of money short-term, flippers, wholesalers, but the day they stop working, they stop making money. Buy and hold is generational wealth.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
What markets are you holding your properties in? Are you like in one certain part of the US, nationwide?
So I used to live in Tennessee. So everything I had was within 30 minutes of my house in Tennessee. One time I had a little bit further, like an hour away, but I found that I didn't check on those properties as much and I dreaded going out there. So I sold all those properties and consolidated. I would advise people don't get anything more than 20 minutes from your house, 30 minutes at the most. That way it's local. After you're a very seasoned professional, or maybe if you're part of a REIT trust, you can do something far away. But for the beginner and almost anybody, just buy stuff local so that when a contractor says this or that, you can drive out there and take a look at it.
Yeah, that's good for people to hear. So, what are you most focused on solving or scaling next when it comes to your business?
Well, for me, that's retirement. I've
Amazing.
got over 100 rentals and I'm not trying to grow anything. We're just maintaining and, well, as I say that, I've got a closing next week, but it's an amazing deal. Couldn't turn it down. But in general, I'm just trying to, there gets to a point, or there should, in my opinion, where enough is enough. I don't need to be a billionaire. I'm happy where I'm at. And I would rather have freedom than chasing another apartment building.
Yeah, that's very valid. And yeah, I think some people can get caught up in the forever chasing versus the enjoyment of why you're doing this and yeah,
It's
living.
addictive. Somebody asked me, why are you buying another one? They're like, what? Couldn't turn it down. It was an amazing deal. Um, but it is definitely addictive. I will say that, those deals and like celebrating, to me, I've always said that you make your money when you buy the property. You can cash out at any time. You can refinance, you got that rental income. But when you buy the property, that's when I celebrate. That's when I really know that I've made the money.
Nice. So, how are you managing these 100 properties? What's your process?
Well, I have tenants pay rent online. Apartments.com is the one I use. There's several different good ones. Um, I have a assistant in Tennessee that can sign leases, and I have a attorney that does evictions. I have contractors that do repairs. So to me, I think it's sort of weird that people pay 10% to a property manager when generally speaking, it takes me a couple of hours a week to manage these properties. I do advertising online. I put a lockbox on the door and, somebody's pre-qualified, then I give them the code. They go look at it. If they like it, they reply. I always focus on long-term tenants. Somebody says they're looking for something. And one of the questions asked pre-qualification is, how long do you want to stay and why are you moving? Oh, I'm just looking for some for a year until my house gets finished or I'm looking to buy. Those are not the tenants I'm looking for. The perfect tenant says, I want to live there the rest of my life. I don't always get those, but I've got several properties that have tenants over 20 years. And every time somebody moves out, you got to go clean up the place, remodel, paint, flooring. Depends on the situation, of course. But when a tenant's there 20 plus years, you don't do any of that. You just collect rent and do maintenance as needed. Those are your winners. So,
Yeah, it sounds like you've really found a simple strategy that works for you. And I think that's something that people can benefit from because, yeah, there's so many ways to like make things extra and complicated. And sometimes it just needs to be more simplified. How did you learn the knowledge and the skills that you did?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Well, I took a mentoring course when I very first started, but a lot of it's just trial and error. There's a phrase out there, analysis paralysis. Some people study so much, and sometimes the best thing to do is just jump in, learn how to swim out of survival. Um, my biggest regret is not buying some of the properties that I should have bought. When I looked at it, it's like, well, I'm not going to make very much on my monthly rent. Maybe it's just $100. It's not worth the time. If I had bought those properties 20 years ago, what I didn't realize is I would have raised the rent. And over 20 years, it at least doubled, and they would be paid off by now. So that's my biggest regret, is that I didn't buy properties that I should have, because I was worried about immediate cash flow when I should have thought about long-term cash flow.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to scoping out like which properties are worthwhile investments, is there any sort of criteria that you have?
Well, my philosophy is I'll buy anything with land. I have single wide, old junky trailers, and I've got big houses, apartments, industrial. So anything that'll cash flow is good for me. I generally use the 1% rule. The rent should be at least 1% of the all-in cost. I find it's a lot more reliable than the cap rate, which a lot of people can interpret and add different things that they shouldn't. The 1% rule is not an all-inclusive. It's just a very simple that works most of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Are there any other like rules or philosophies that you feel are benefiting and worth sharing?
Nothing I can think of.
Okay. Any strategies or advice you have for people that are earlier on in their journey?
Be persistent, stay tough through the tough times, and know that wherever you do a 15 or 20-year mortgage, that the property will be paid off in 15 or 20 years. Whenever you get that awful tenant that destroys the place and you want to throw your hands in, realize, hey, they're paying your mortgage for you and it's eventually going to get paid off. One of my close friends loves pets. He gets a premium rent and he loves it. Personally, I have a lot of problems with pets. I don't allow pets. Google dog peed on heat pump, and there's so many results. The pee is corrosive. I end up with a new heat pump, which is easily 10 grand because of somebody allowed their dog to go outside and pee. They don't care. They're not noticing where the dog pees. I've had several places destroyed, so I don't allow pets personally. Even though I have pets, I don't blame the animals. It's the owners. A lot of people just don't care, or they don't have the knowledge to care for their animal appropriately.
Yeah, definitely. That makes sense. Awesome. Yeah, when like you're on this track to retirement, are you still managing your properties or what does this transition look like?
Yeah, I still manage them. Just do everything remotely.
Amazing. Yeah, that's so exciting to get to that position. Awesome. So before we wrap up here, if there's someone that wants to reach out, connect with you, learn more about what you're doing, where is the best place that they can reach you?
Social media, specifically, I would say Facebook. That's the only one I'm really active on. I try to give back. I try to help others. I started a local group on Facebook where I try to mentor others. I think that we should all try to help one another. Many people helped me on my journey, and I'm trying to help others.
Amazing. And what's your Facebook? Is it just your name? People will find you quick.
Well, I have this handle I developed back many years ago, Gubni, Gubni. So if you search that, you'll find me directly. There's several Shawn Millers.
Yeah,
It's
I
all
was
one
thinking
letter.
that. Awesome. So, yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, your perspective, and your story. We need more people in this space doing things in this right way. So, thank you again for joining.
You're welcome. Glad to help.
Awesome. And for those of you that are tuning in, if you got value from this, make sure that you've subscribed. We have more conversations coming with operators just like Shawn, who are out here building real businesses. And we'll see you all on our next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.